Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Turncoat Don put together another spectacular video showing Douglas Murray after October 7th. He went on this anti-hate speech thing. After October 7th, Douglas Murray became a free speech warrior that started the Emergency Coalition Against Hate. So he was out there. So he was once he was a free speech warrior. After October 7th, much like all the people at the Daily Wire, or most of them, they flipped. And then they weren't for free speach. Now they're for deporting people. Now they're for censorship and deporting people who over their free speech. So Turncoat Don does a great job. Watch this.
Almost every campus in America, the major ones certainly, are filled with instances like this of Jewish students being harassed.
So he's upset about people's free speech, and he thinks they should be censored and arrested even. You think I'm kidding? Watch this.
Stand in Britain with a Hamas flag. You should not be allowed to be free.
We should not.
So if you stand in Britain with a Hamas flag, you should not be allowed to be free.
Or a British flag, it turns out.
This is the free speech warrior.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me stop starting it.
Almost every campus in America, the major ones certainly, are filled with instances like this of Jewish students being harassed.
If you stand in Britain with a Hamas flag, you should not be allowed to be free.
We should not have to put up with people marching through our streets.
You should be arrested, have your citizenship withdrawn. They're not policing the law.
So they shouldn't have to put up with people saying things that he doesn't want to hear. That's what Mr. Free Speech Warrior Douglas Murray just said. We shouldn't have to put up with hearing things that we don't want to hear. Meaning, I hate pro-Palestinian protesters, so I shouldn't have to hear them, and they should be arrested.
Wow,
that's what he said.
Genderqueer, non-binary, woke liberal of him.
Very much.
Have your citizenship withdrawn. They're not police.
And you should have your citizenship withdrawn. If you say things, say things and have political opinions that I don't agree with. Hey, more.
Single law.
No, I understand.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have all of these videos of people inciting violence on the street. You should not be given the right to insult and to taunt.
You shouldn't be allowed to insult and taunt.
What a reversal.
I thought he was
180.
Yeah, this sounds
take it, Muslims. We can draw your guy.
This sounds like every woke trans activist, LGBTQ, that we all push back against.
Yeah, well, Hamas killed wokeness because our first wife Israel's back, and
that's
they're
right.
the best at it, baby.
And here we are.
Point of having a law if you can't police.
Tell me about this emergency coalition against hate.
So he started an emergency coalition against hate, where he wants to revoke your citizenship. You should be arrested for expressing political opinions, and you shouldn't be allowed to insult and incite.
Oh, that should cut down on the hate.
So you know who actually spoke out against Douglas Murray saying those kind of things? Turns out it was Douglas Murray.
Yeah.
Here we go.
People are just deciding anything I don't like, I will perceive to be a crime against my particular group of people. And this is a whole industry now. It's an industry in the law. It's an industry in the police. People competing to be the most offended person.
People competing to be the most offended. That's exactly Douglas Murray after October 7th.
This is why we have the competition Olympics of offendedness. With people going to the police saying, I'm the most offended person.
Oh.
But we've got a lot more people on the side of free speech who actually loathe these censorious bullies, who loathe their priggishness, their boringness, their bullyingness, their endless vapidity and stupidity, their tendency to say that we have to educate themselves when they seem to have no knowledge at all. But it all comes down to one of the great gifts that Britain gave the world, the concept of liberty of speech. is important not just because you need to know truthfully the widest possible array of arguments, but because you need to be able to find out if you yourself are in error. Clamp down on free speech, and you do not permit yourself the ability to find out when you're wrong. That's why free speech matters. It's one of Britain's great gifts to the world, and it's something that we should protect in this generation as much as those who went before us.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
So just remember how we started.
Almost every campus in America, the major ones certainly, are filled with instances like this of Jewish students being harassed.
If you stand in Britain with a Hamas flag, you should not be allowed to be free.
We should not have to put up with people marching through our streets.
You should be arrested, have your citizenship withdrawn. They're not policing the law.
No, I understand.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have all of these videos of people inciting violence on the street. You should not be given the right to insult and to taunt. What's the point of having a law if you can't police?
Tell me about this emergency.
So, well done again by Turncoat Don. And if you need any more proof that Douglas Murray is a complete ass, I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it's out there. On a daily basis, Turncoat Don is finding videos of Douglas Murray saying the exact opposite thing that he is now saying after October 7th.
If he hadn't been such a jerk off on his own, I would never have found out he wrote a book called Why We Need Neoconservatism.
Yep. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And great job, Turncoat Don. Amazing. Hey, if you watch my show, you already know the mainstream news media is not reliable. They never tell you the truth about Russiagate, Ukraine, COVID lockdowns, or anything. That's why I keep partnering with Ground News. Their app and website make it super easy to compare media coverage from all over the world in one place. Like on Trump shifting his stance on Ukraine, if you go to Ground News/JD, you'll see the full coverage on how he's cut them off from intelligence sharing. Even the UK, one of our closest allies, can't pass along any U.S. intel to Ukraine. Ground News gives me instant access to over 300 articles covering it worldwide. They even tell you if each reporting source has a political bias, how reliable the reporting is, and if they're independently owned or corporate controlled. They'll even show you where the news sources are based. It's a super helpful way to see what kind of biases lead to some thinking this is some catastrophic betrayal of Ukraine that weakens NATO, while others call it a strategic realignment that forces Europe to take responsibility for its own security. When it comes to anything Trump does, you know the media is going to twist it to whatever fits their agenda, and if you're not checking multiple sources, you're going to fall into their trap. So I can't recommend enough following the Ukraine war on Ground News and checking your blind spots to find these stories missing from the other side of the political spectrum. You won't get this kind of transparency from mainstream media. Ground News is a lot like this show, actually. They're doing what we're doing. So just go to Ground News/JD or just scan the QR code on the screen. We're offering my viewers 40% off the same plan I use, which gets you unlimited access to all their features. This knocks the price down to just $5 a month. Subscribing not only supports an independent news platform working to make the media more transparent, it also supports this show and everything we do here. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.